Everyone, we'll begin now. So welcome to our open day for our bachelor programs. I'm Melissa and I'm the student engagement manager at Riga Business School. And today we'll be joined by Claudio, who is the bachelor program director, and he'll talk to you about our bachelor programs. And we also have Zakia, who will talk to you about teaching methods. And then our student union will also join a bit later, and they will tell you about all the fun things that you can do at Riga Business School. So I hope you enjoy. And if you have any questions, also there'll be a Q&A sessions afterwards.
Excellent. Thank you. We are live in Facebook, so whatever we say is going to be recorded forever and ever. So there. I'm not sure if anyone really watch these sessions afterward, but I guess they do actually. Sometimes when I check views, they start to grow. So whatever we say is going to be recorded. And how many of you is the first time in Riga Business School? First time in Riga Business School. Okay, good. So how many of you are coming from Riga? Almost all. All. Okay. Good. So and you are coming 12th grade. How many of you are from the 12th grade? 11th grade? Okay. You are 11? Okay. Okay. So you are coming way out. So you have time for thinking about this, and it's good. So it's 1 year ahead. And I always tell everyone, I'm leading this program for 10 years already, that this is one of the most important choices you have in your life, is where you are going to do your undergraduate program, okay? Because it's very, very special. After when you will do in the future, you will do for sure masters, and maybe some of you will do the doctoral. Some of you will go for the postdoctoral, but there is nothing like the undergraduate program. And the reason is, this is the moment where, why do you think is that important? Why do you think this is the most important of all the university studies you can do? In RBS, it's very interactive. So we don't like preaching. So why do you think undergraduate programs, bachelor programs are more important than graduate programs and postgraduate programs? An idea? Yeah, it's a moment where you still are teachable. Okay, so when you become older and then you have some experience and you move on, so your capacity for learning diminishes as well. Okay, so this is a good moment. Second, you don't have commitments. I mean, 99.99999% of the people that study in the undergraduate program, at least in Riga Business School, they don't have family commitment in terms of, they don't have children, they don't have mortgage, they don't have many things that actually limit, for some, the possibility to be 100% into the community, okay? So this is a time where you can really focus yourself on studying, and you can focus yourself into building your network, on getting friends, going exchange, going to dual degree, and nothing serious is going to happen if you are 100% into the studies. So very keen, whatever, I don't know what you are going to decide, where you finally would like to study, but if you can take only one advice from me, is don't go anywhere where they are not going to make you study hard, and take the bachelor's program very seriously. And unfortunately, there are many programs that, that they do the bachelor in a way that you can really go through pretty easily. So that is wasting the peak of your intellectual and physical energy in something that is not worthwhile. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you study here or somewhere else. Don't go anywhere where they are not going to make you study very hard, because this is the moment. This is the moment, and these are the foundations, you know. So this is the moment where you really the bachelor program is where you put the foundations of every learning that happens later on. Most of what you study in the bachelor programs, you are not going to apply it after in life. It doesn't matter where you are going to study. Probably you are going to use, you know, so some of those practical knowledge at the beginning of your career, but most of what you learn in a bachelor program is how to think. You get all the algorithmic, mathematical capacity. You get the very fundamentals of finance, the very fundamentals of psychology. You get the very understanding of how the world works, how business works, how technology works. So then when you go into the job market or you go into a master, you will become more applied. You will start to get more tools, the tools that you need there. But that is very easy to get once your foundations are good. Okay, and that's why the bachelor program is the moment where you can really make your brain works. If that happens, if you have the foundations in your brain and you also have the habits that you get in a good program, so then career becomes much easier, and then your goals can be also higher. Okay, so Riga Business School is operating for a little bit more than 30 years. Is part of the Riga Technical University. Okay, though it's a little bit separated. So Riga Technical University mainly is in Kipsala. So we are here. Okay, and it was established together with the University of New York at Buffalo and with the University of Ottawa, Canada. Okay, so that was back in 1991. So when the Soviet Union collapsed, and then they decided, so together with the support of the US government and the Canadian government and Riga Technical University, to set up a place where we can create and we can educate the managers of Latvia and the Baltics. So if you go to most of the biggest companies in Latvia, and you go to the board of directors of the top management, you will always find one of the graduates of Riga Business School that is sitting there, okay, in one of the top positions in those companies. So we have more than 2,000 graduates already. The bachelor programs, though, if the master program started in 1991, the bachelor program started in 2012. And we had already 600 students that went through the bachelor programs, okay? Now we are working, and I'm gonna explain to you after, so we are working with universities all around the globe. We have Erasmus as well that are not included here, so there is a slide with the Erasmus opportunities. But besides Erasmus, and this is different from another universities, we also have very specific collaboration with top universities, right? So for example, with BI Norwegian Business School, so you can do a dual degree. So that means that you can finish the program in Oslo and get 2 degrees, so one from Riga Business School and one from BI Norwegian Business School. And we have now 9 students there, so 39 already got this degree. So this is one of the top business schools in the world. So you can go to Japan for 1 year. So we have only two places for that. This is a special exchange. Everything is paid to study. This is the best business school in Japan. The same with Solbridge in South Korea. These are limited places. Here we have 2 places as well, 2 places in Japan, 2 places in South Korea. So we are our students are having access to MIT courses, especially in the VITAL program. And And okay, so these are, so you can go to France as well to have an exchange. Okay, so what do we do? What we do is we create and we educate you to be leaders for a world based full of technology. Okay, and I'm going to explain you what does it mean, because that sounds like big words. Okay, but that means that if in the past the managers, the leaders of business were people that knew how to work on finance, on accounting, on marketing, on how to structure the lines of productions. It's called operations. So today we have something called internet, right? And we have blockchain, and we have algorithms, and we have artificial intelligence. Okay, so we have quite a lot of other things that they were not in the past. So that means that we need to prepare you for a world that is humans and machines together. Okay, that means you need to know how to program, regardless you study in the vital program or in the business program. That means that you need to be able to understand what is behind ChatGPT. How many of you use ChatGPT? You don't use ChatGPT? No? Okay, so you should be able to, when you study here and you finish here, you should be able to understand how do you use ChatGPT for business. Okay, so it's not, so you can, someone, I don't know how many of you have used already ChatGPT for your school assignments. Here it is allowed to do it. Of course. I mean, are we going to ban you to use Google or internet or the Chrome? But the question is, if before ChatGPT the questions were more simple, now we make them much more difficult. Right? Yeah, you are allowed to use it, but the question is done in a way that using ChatGPT, so you have to answer smart. You have to be smart, right? So the other day I did a quiz to my students, and then they had in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they have around that. So you have to read an article in the BBC. You have to understand the article of the BBC. They have to take one specific concept for the book, from the book, and they have to apply the concept of the book to the article in the BBC. Can they use ChatGPT? Yes. Will it be useful? No. Okay. So what we do is basically you can use whatever is available to you. For example, in terms of coding, we have a lot of coding, especially for middle students. Of course, you can go to Google. Of course, you can go to other places and see how the code is written. You have to be able to explain it. Okay. So the same happens in business. All these new tools, we are interested that you know them, but also that you are able to know how the business of the future is going to work using. So you have to envision. I don't know if you have read today in newspaper, in the journal EAR. Do you read EAR? No? Okay, sometimes at least. So today there is an article about one of the courses that our students take in the bachelor program that is called Humans and Machines. Okay? And this is a course for the bachelor students that is taught by one of our professors. He's a Japanese professor, he's an expert in literature. And in that course, our students are envisioning how the society, the business, how the different products, how the supermarket, how everything will work when they're in a metaverse environment. Okay? So we are not interested in you leaving the school and thinking how you run what is already available now, but we need you to think on 5 years from now, 10 years from now, how it's going to look like. because that's where the reality is. So the 5 years from now, 10 years from now, how it all looks like. So this is not just as a slogan. This is really something we are embedding in all the courses right now. Okay? Do you know what is R? How many of you know what is Excel? Well, people think that they know Excel. They don't know Excel. When they come here, you don't know. So you understand you don't know Excel. Okay, because one thing is to use the simple formulas. The other thing is to use very complex formulas at a very high speed. And this is what you learn here, right? So it's advanced Excel. But Excel is limited. You can use Excel for data analysis at a certain volume of data. But what happens when you have big data? And what do you have today? You have big data. What is behind Google? Big data. And what you have is an algorithm that uses that data. Okay. What do you have when you go to any companies? What RIMI uses? What the hospitals use it? What Lielvard? How many of you use Soma? Soma? So Soma has thousands and thousands and millions of points of data, it's called. Okay? Now, what do you do with that data? Well, our graduates have to go and they have to tell them what to do. So many of our graduates, what they do is they work in big companies that collect a lot of data. For example, one of the companies that our students work a lot is called Circle K. I mean, you might think, okay, what is Circle K? Well, I go to the station and then I go in my car, I take my coffee, and it seems that everything is so simple. In reality, what you have is a huge machine behind every transaction that is analyzing who buys what when. Okay? And that's what our students and our graduates do. So they take the data, they create the algorithms, and they create the solution for the customer going to every station that you do. Okay? Good. So these are our principles. Global knowledge. So we try that a significant amount of our faculty members are not born in Latvia, or at least that they have studied abroad. With very few exceptions, they have studied in Latvia. Most of our faculty members had at least one degree abroad. Interdisciplinary approach means that you have faculty members from different backgrounds, and then you can sort of open your mind in an easier way. And it's a lot of project-based learning. There are a lot of projects in every single course. We are friendly, but we are demanding. Okay? How do we guarantee that there is engaging faculty? Well, the ratio between faculty and students is very low. So how many students per faculty member? Is a low number. So the dropout rate, you know what it is? In Latvian, the word is atvirums. So how many students leave without finishing the studies? If a normal Latvian university is around 60%, so it's pretty bad. That's very bad. It has to improve. But the good number would be around 30–40%. So this year here is around 2%. And the reason is, are we smarter or our students are smarter? No. It's simply that there is a lot of work with the students, okay? So we really work very closely. We follow up the students every week. As a director, I know what happened with every student at the level of performance, at the level of attendance, etc., etc. So this is engagement. What means digital innovation? Means that we try to use everything possible to help you on your studies. For example, you come to mathematics. Regardless how good is your central exam, you do not know mathematics enough for college, with very few exceptions. So, so people really have difficulties with calculus here in Riga Business School. So especially after COVID. So the COVID generation, that thanks God you are, for you it would be better. But the COVID generation has been the worst in mathematics. So what did we do? Besides having lectures and tutorials and everything else, we also give you a special application called Alex. And what Alex does is that for every student, you have a specific path that is individualized to you to actually catch up to the level of everyone else on mathematics. So you make up whatever is missing from the school, okay? And in many courses, you have something like that. That these are, and Zakia probably is going to speak more about that. We have different tools that will not save you your work, so you will need to work hard, but it will give you a tool to actually be effective on that. I know I am running out of time. Melissa is going to kick me out, but so BBA is the most classical program, so we have it for 10 years already. It's a dual degree. This is very important. That means they go through a lot of accreditation processes. So every course, every faculty member is checked by these 2 institutions, okay? And you have these 4 specializations here and there. Also, you have shipping management in Norway. What means is that if you go to the 3rd year to Norwegian Business School or to the 4th year to the University at Buffalo, you are a student of that institution. It's not an exchange program. It's much more than an exchange program. So you are fully a student of these institutions. If you only finish here, you are not a student of these 2. Okay? So a BBA is known everywhere. So everywhere you go, if you want to study further, and you say I'm a BBA, everyone knows what it is, what it means. Okay, it's a very specific international standard, and you always will find the same courses. Okay, now we do a lot of focus on what we call 21st century skills. That basically means that there is a lot of work that is teamwork. So around 50% of every course is team-based, and a lot of critical thinking, essay writings, and things like that. And we are becoming more and more data, more and more data. The reason is that the business of the future and the business today is based on data. So our BBA students are having now SQL, are programming. So we are giving you a lot of tools to really work with big data in the future. Okay. We have a lot of graduates with very good profiles. Okay. Yeah. Now, BIDL. This is a new program. First graduates will be this year. I don't have graduates to show you. Okay. So they are finishing in June. We have around 80, 90 students in this one. It's extremely elite program. It's computer science and business, both. It's like a 2 programs in one. Okay. Now, there is a lot of programming and there is a lot of business. Okay. So we have at this moment 3 specializations: general management, artificial intelligence, data. Is coming. We are in preparation for bioinformatics, meaning genome sequencing, genome and genome analysis. This is, the working with DNA. So that's what we are preparing for the future, and we are working on getting it done very soon. Okay. So basically, a day for these guys is a day where you do a lot of programming, and you do a lot of business, and you do a lot of other things. It's very intense. Both programs are full-time programs with a lot of projects and a lot of internships as well. Okay. So basically, when you come to Riga Business School, you choose one of the two, but you can switch. And the nice thing is that even inside these programs, you can move a little bit because people in the BBA can take courses from Biddle as well. And people in Biddle can also take maybe courses in BBA that then are not in the core program. Generally, it doesn't happen because both programs are so intense that they don't have time. But anyway, the possibility is there. So so what you have is that these are IT people with a lot of qualitative skills. So these are IT people that know how to speak, how to build teams, they know to lead, how to lead, okay? And that's unique, okay, in the market. But BBA also have to have a lot of these very quantitative data analysis. So this is more on the human side of business. This is more on the big data side of business, okay? Now, you have Beetle, because most of them, especially those that are in the fourth year, they are already in the job market. You have many of them that they are more in business positions. Those that they don't, because you have those that they don't like too much programming, okay? They like technology, but they don't like too much programming. And you have many from the BBA that are in IT positions. So we equip you for both. Because it's not good that when you are 18 years old, you go to university and they tell you, now you choose what you are going to do for the next 10 years. That's not good. You don't know. You know more or less what you like, but you have to be given the opportunity to actually change your preferences. So we only have one graduate for the dual degree at Buffalo, and the reason is cost. It's very, very expensive. Okay, it costs around $50,000 a year there. Here we have already 39, so this year we are going to have 45 in total dual degrees for the Norwegian Business School. These are fantastic experiences. You know, it puts you in a completely different context for 1 year. Yeah, the building is amazing. Okay. Yes. Yes. If it is a BBA, you get in 3 years. That's right. Yeah. And actually, I will go for questions. So actually the methodology of a study is different, but the level is exactly the same. So this is what all the students are telling us. Here you have assignments every week for every course, more or less. So here when you go, you have midterm exam, final exam, that's it, okay, with some, yeah.
Other requirements besides cost?
Well, so it's the same that for RBS, so you need to have an average grade of 7. In any case, you need that for graduation. So there's no, you know, this is an American institution. So every American institution, they give you a GPA, it's an average grade that you need to have for graduation. So here is 7 for BBA and 6 for BITL, okay? And to get into BI, you need 7 as well. And then, yeah, nothing else because you have, yeah, so just you are in RBS and you apply, and that's it. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, all included, right? So insurance and we need to check precise for the year because it changed year by year. For BI, I think this year is around 11,000 plus 10,000 of accommodation. Okay, this is all included, accommodation plus insurance. You know, U.S. insurance is important. Flight, etc. is around $50,000. These are around 10 plus 10. Yeah. You are talking about 20. And you have to think, okay, if I go to study directly to Buffalo, it's going to cost me around $150,000, $190,000. Yeah. So with RBS, it's going to cost you around 70, 80. Yeah. Depends if you do the BETL. If you do the BETL, you go for the dual degree to the School of Engineering. If you do the BBA, you go to the School of Management for the dual degree. And in the case of BI, so the BBA have access to finance, marketing, data, and shipping. And for BETL, you have data. Mm-hmm. Yes?
But if they choose not to
Yeah. Yeah, we have, so we have all the contracts of Erasmus that Riga Technical University has, but we only accept that our students go to top 300 universities in the world. And the reason is we don't want you to waste 6 months of your life doing nothing in some place because it's nice to be there for free, right? Unfortunately, most of Erasmus exchange we call them turismus, so the people go there for 6 months for free. So we don't accept that. I think you are in that stage of your life that you have to make use of it. So our students go to very, very good universities in Europe for Erasmus. And we have also this specialist exchange in Asia, in Japan and in South Korea, where there are spots that are for free. And if they are covered, so the other ones will need to pay, of course, right? But yeah, we have many, and now we are signing with Africa as well. Though I don't expect many people to really want to go there. So we have in Zambia and Namibia. So we have now a special course where our students are studying together with Zambian and Namibian students. And it's a fantastic experience. So they are creating business projects. But I don't expect many of our students willing to go for a semester there. But maybe that could happen. Let's see. Okay. More questions? Okay. Yeah, we have some of the. I guess Melissa chose those that are probably top in ranking. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. And yeah. Well, that this one, I don't know if we have the Rome. So people, if you have a university like this one that is also very good weather and great city, so it's a great choice, right? So that's but we have many. We have, I think, around Erasmus contract. I think we have around 700 or something like that. But the ones that we accept is 10% of those that are only on the top ranking of the universities. Because Riga Business School, especially the bachelor programs, they lead to AACSB accreditation. This is a very technical thing, but it leads you to the accreditation of top business schools in the world. So we cannot accept that you go to any university. Okay, so that's good. Yeah. So we have these opportunities now. So we signed those contracts only for Riga Business School right before COVID. So the first one to use it online. It was pretty sad. But the first one to go was this year to South Korea. This year we will have around 4 or 6 going to 2 countries. So it's pretty interesting. Okay. We used to have with China, but then we learned that nobody spoke English there. So, and people were going to McDonald's or something to eat and they have to show the picture. So we decided not to continue there. But we have Japan and South Korea. And we have the Erasmus internship that are pretty interesting as well. So they for the summer. So you can go to work in a company during the summer. And there we are not that strict on what do you choose to do. Okay, internships. So the school requires that at least 12 weeks during the whole program you spend in an internship. That's very easy to do. So most of the students have much more than that. Most of the time, internships are paid. I could say around 90% of internships are paid. It depends on the company how much they pay. Okay. Generally, our students have no problem whatsoever to find good internships. Okay. Actually, the problem we have is that many cases those companies want to keep them working, and then we start some level of a struggle that they can continue studying, at the same level meanwhile they work. Okay, so that's generally the problem. So here you can see some of our key employers. We have some events for them to come and visit you. Today we have KPMG, for example. Do you know what is KPMG? The Big Four. You don't know what are the Big Four? When I tell them, when I go and visit the Big Four and I tell them that the high school people don't know them, they why? How they don't know us? So Big Four are the Big Four consulting auditing firms in the world: Deloitte, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Ernst & Young, and KPMG. So you don't know them? Okay, you will know them when you are here. So they are huge. So here you have, for example, Deloitte, EY. Okay. So then you have the banks and you have the IT companies, etc., etc. Okay. So we have many companies that come here. They have different type of speed dating, interview sessions, and things like that. So where you can go get in a match with them. Many times students don't need our help, but we help anyway. Okay. Good. For 12 graders, 11 graders, you need to catch up next year. So what are the dates? But more or less, it always follows the same sequence and calendar, roughly. So the application is May the 15th. Okay. And so you need to do some steps before. Okay. So by May the 15th, you need to submit the whole package. And then on the 27th, there is a math entrance exam. Okay. And then somewhere till legal, there is the individual interview. And then the admission decision is July the 10th. And then we have bonding camp at the end of August, and everything kicks off. Okay. So it's not like the other universities. Okay. So the other university, I think they apply in July or somewhere there. So we don't follow the same process. So what do we do? What we are looking at? You remember we have a very low dropout rate. So we don't want anyone that actually cannot be with us, or we cannot be with them. So we try to match. Okay, we want a match. So we look at your grades. Okay, so we look at your central exams. No, because you don't have central exam for most cases. So you have probably English, but then you have the TOEFL. But we look at your 11th grade and first semester of the 12th grade. Okay. You need to do TOEFL or IELTS, and then there is the entrance exam, and then there is an interview of around half an hour, 40 minutes. That is like a shop interview where we check motivation. Okay. There will be some sessions on math entrance exams. I'm not going to get into it, also because I really don't know the details. But so I think there will be 2 or 3 sessions, right, Melissa, where they will explain how the test goes. Okay. And then you have the IELTS or TOEFL or TOEFL ITP. This is the one you can do here for free. Okay, to get it. And I ran out of my time. Okay, more questions. I will stay here anyway, but more questions. How many of you are thinking on Beetle program? Yeah. Good. For Beetle, one thing we will come into interview is we want to know whether you understand what does it mean to be spending a couple of days coding. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you need to know how to code, but that really, you know, there are people that are people, so that they want to be with people all the time. And if you're sitting there just coding, so we want to know that that happens. Okay, there is a course now called CS50 that we are offering in different type of formats. So probably you can also make use of it to have a little bit acquaintance with what we do here. Okay, it's a Harvard course, and we are securing the Harvard course from here. Okay, Melissa, I know I spent my time.
Yes, well, but I think nobody had any more questions, so I think you answered every single one of them. Thank you so much. It was really insightful for me as well, because I'm new. Zaki, can you use the other one? Yes, is enough. Okay, well, now we'll learn about the teaching methods. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Claudio and Melissa. Okay, a bit of introduction about myself. I am Zakia Siddiqui, that's my name. And if you get into Riga Business School, you will see me a lot of time working with finance and mathematics majorly. Accounting, finance, and mathematics. That's my major courses over here. So I was asked by Melissa to tell you what methods are we actually using to teach those courses. So some of them, we actually made a list just to show you how it looks like. We are trying to make sure that we use both approaches, interdisciplinary approach, and the other one is a project-based approach. Now, when it comes to interdisciplinary approach, we make sure that you know and have all the tools which you may need in your careers. Not only the needs of accounting and finance, but how to communicate with others, how to solve the problem, in case there's a conflict, how to do it. In case you don't know the answer, sometimes you don't even know the question, how to find a problem and then find a solution accordingly. So what approaches do we actually use here? So this one, lectures, I think I don't need to explain. This is what everybody has in their school as well. How many of you like listening to your teacher for 1 hour? Nobody, right? Kind of. I mean, your teachers will be lucky to have you if you like, listening to them. So lectures. So this is the approach, which is like a bit of outdated thing, which we try not to lecture you all the time. So if I ask you the question, I would be very happy if you actually give me some responses. Okay. So people, do you like listening to the lectures? No, I can't hear you. So this is one thing that we are trying to avoid. So it should not be one-way interaction, but it's actually two-way interaction. One thing. Second thing is case studies. Case study, what do? We are not actually looking or using the case studies just from the journals or the outdated stuff, because we know everything has changed during the COVID situation. We have the war going on in the geopolitical, you see the geopolitical situation around you. So a lot of things are changing for the companies as well. So we talk to the companies and we try to find the problems, help them to understand the problem. We bring the case studies to the class, and whatever they have studied from the theoretical perspective, we ask them, how would you solve it? How to implement the ideas which they have studied to find a solution. So that is one thing which you will see actually in all the courses. I don't think so there will be any course where you won't see any case study, maybe in mathematics. That's the exceptional, I would say, only in mathematics. Then the group project, business cannot be done alone. Can you run the business alone? It's very difficult. No. We have to work not only with your, like if you're an employee, you don't have to work with the employer only, but you have to work with other stakeholders. So not only the owners, but you have to work with your stakeholders as well. You have to talk to the suppliers, you have to market your product, you have to talk to the marketing departments, but they cannot be, not necessarily their internal departments only, they can be external departments as well. How to interact with them, that's one thing. And then we are trying to make sure that you build that capability and the skills when you are in your bachelor's program. We need to talk. In the classroom, we make sure that you talk 70% of the time, not with the lecturer, but among yourself. Why am I saying that? Because let's say you have around 60 students. That's usually the number. Yeah, 60 students in the classroom. After 3 years, all of them will be in 60 different companies, in 60 different positions. You will need them at some point, either today, tomorrow, after 5 years, or 10 years. So you have to work in group to know each other as well. Again, it's not important. Somebody was asking me, asking Claudio, now what should be the score to get into the BI or University of Buffalo? I always say to my students, I hope they won't mind, but I always say to my student, have you ever asked your mom how many points did they get in marketing in their bachelor's program in the midterms? Do they usually ask? That's not important. Important are your relationships. That's very important. So that will be helpful in the long run. And that is something which we're trying to do in the group projects. Solving the problem together. So again, we say 1 + 1 is not 2, it's 11. Yeah, that's the approach we're trying to do. And then we have simulations. Simulations, I can give an example of simulation is like having the same situation as in the real world, and we are trying to solve that problem. For example, not only solving the problem, but we are coming to the business school to make bucks. Yeah, how to do that? So how many of you actually do trading? Anybody? Nobody? Come on, people, start making bucks, okay? Do the trading where you don't have to, you see my students are smiling at the back. So here you can see, oh, hi, Natalie, good to see you. This is one thing you will see here. For example, in our investment management course, we allow students to do the trading in the simulation. It's just like you have a platform, you see all the trading going on, the prices, and you trade for yourself. And then you compare your portfolio. Yeah, you have to. You just don't have to tell, okay, I bought this stock or sold that one. No, you have to tell the reason behind it. You have to look at the news, for instance. You have to look at what is happening in the businesses, ups and downs, policies, regulations, and so on and so forth. Logistics, for example, everything is and then geopolitical situation, all the factors. So that usually helps in the simulation. Then we have guest speaker session. Sometime we need to see, for example, students are like, okay, we see what we are reading or whatever the case studies are, but how can we implement that in the businesses? So what do? We call usually the heads of different companies, the CEOs, managing directors, to actually come and share the experience, how they are tackling their businesses, or if there is an issue, how are they solving it? Yeah, so that's one thing you will see. Guest speaker session, if you have 14 lectures, 3 to 7 lectures are not conducted by the same lecturer. You will have people from the industry. So you see the implementation of what they have studied. So this would be one way. So just not one lecture all the time. By the way, we don't have one lecture for one course. Most of the courses are taught by 2 to 3 professors coming from different background. Yeah. And not necessarily all the lectures will be online. That's actually coming to my online learning bullet here. We have some lecturers from US, actually a lot of professors from US. Some of them are on site, some of them are online. And from different part of the world, so what is happening is either you can, if they cannot travel, it doesn't mean that you won't be able to have the experiences or you won't be able to learn from them, but actually we also allow students to have the online lectures. Yeah, so you don't miss an opportunity to learn from their experiences. The role playing is usually in the business communication courses and the leadership courses over here. And what they do? They are given us in a situation or for example, 2 types of investments are given, for example, portfolio, and they have to convince each other which investment should be made, for how long should it be made, which one would be more beneficial for the business. Are we only talking about the shareholders or are we talking about the stakeholders as well? So those things helps in a sense that we also learn what the other people are thinking. So first you work individually, then you work in the group, and then you have a debate. So you can hear everything. You can argue, you can give your opinion as well. Experiential learning, again, it's more related to simulation, again. And we are making sure that you have the experience on site as well, in the real industry as well. This is where the internships comes in. Not only people are going for the internships, but there are some boot camps as well, which you can join in your third year or in the fourth year, depending in which project you are, like in which program you are, whether you're in BBA or in BITL. Then we have a flipped classroom. Not all the work should be done by the teachers, right? How many of you read the chapters before going to the classroom? Davis, no. Yes, he's a smart cookie in my class, actually. Yeah, so yes, we are trying to make sure that the timing for the lectures are not used in a way just to tell you what is in your books. No. We try to make sure that the students are doing their homework by reading the materials which have been provided by them, provided by the professors, and use the time of the lecture to have a discussion. Discussion is more important because everybody can read. At this level, after the high school, we expect you know how to read the books, right? You can read the book, but sometimes there could be calculations or what do these numbers mean? Okay, we calculated. Everybody can put the formula, right? Everybody can use the formula in the Excel. Excel is very important, by the way, people. You have to know the Excel before coming here. So have some Excel. I don't want to scare you, but yeah, it would be a good tool. And then problem-based learning. Again, we provide different types of problems. And whatever the students have learned, it's more like a case study, but sometimes you have a situation, but you don't know what the problem is. You have to identify the problem. You have to discover it yourself. You have to research it. And then the point is the lecturers and the professors are more like the moderators. They tell you the direction. In which direction should you research, you know? So that's something which we do here. And then self-directed learning, as Claudia actually mentioned about Alex. That's one of the tools which we are using for mathematics. The other one is Mobius. Also, not only for mathematics, but we are also using for accounting as well. That's called MyLab. And what does it do? We give you the self-study projects in that. What does it mean? You can practice at your own pace. At your own pace mean what? That you will not be graded on some of the projects or the homework or the assignments. What you do is just to practice before having an actual exam. So just to make sure that you have enough tools to do the work which will be assigned later, which would be assigned later. And then discovery learning, I think I have covered somehow. But who helps you when you are at Riga Business School generally? So, and how do they help you? The answer is student academic advisors. We have a student academic advisor. So I'm actually one of them. I am the student academic advisor for the fresh year, that is the first year students. What happens over here is sometime when you come from the high school to the university life, to the bachelor's program, you don't know where to go, where to find the answers, how to choose the courses. Which courses should you choose? What are the credit points? How to calculate the credit points? Yeah? Where should you apply for the internship? How should you apply for the internship? Or any issues related to not only the academics, but any issues if you have among students or, you know, I don't know, whatever you have problems with. So you can come. We actually say in joke that they are actually your parents at Riga Business School. So if you have any problem, you have to come to them. They're like, mommy, daddy's here. So you have to they actually help you to solve the problems. Good. That's it from my end. I'm happy to answer any questions. Questions? Yes. Mm-hmm.
How many people get admitted to each program each year?
Each year, the number of the students, actually, Melissa, thank you. So each year, the number of the students are actually increasing. This year, we are targeting around 100 for the BBS, but we'll see, but usually 50 to 60 in the batch BBS program. And in the BITL, it's a new program, and this year we'll have the 5th batch. Yeah, BITL 5th batch, so it's actually gradually increasing. The interest for the BITL program, I'm actually very happy to see it, that people are interested in the BITL program. I think that's the future.
Okay.
First thing which we are going to teach you is to speak. I mean, I think our student will agree with that. That's the first thing which we are going to do. We are going to push you so hard that we'll make sure that you don't stop. There will be no stop button then. Yeah. Yes.
Does RBS provide any scholarships? If so, how many for each program?
That's the question for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do provide, yeah, we do provide scholarships. How many is a difficult question because we have different type of scholarships. We have something called the academics excellence scholarships that is around for each program is 4 to 5 students, and that is decided in the admission process. So when you get admitted, there is something called the RBS admission score, and the top 5 guy or the top 4 guys, they get the scholarship, and that they have the studies for free for the whole program, though they need to keep an average grade of 8. What is easy?
No, I'm asking.
It's not easy. So to get 7 is okay. So it's doable, really, for most of the people. But to get an A, is a jump, even if it is only 1 point. But so far we have very few students that lose the scholarship over the years. They are not. They don't rotate. So if someone loses it, the scholarship is lost. Okay. Then we have some scholarships that are coming from companies, and those depend on how many we manage to raise every year. So I think this year we have around 10-15 of those scholarships. Then we have the student union scholarships. That is given after. So once you are here already and you are studying, and then depending on your academic performance and whether you are very active in the community, so 5 people per semester. So they are proposed by the student union. They get 50% discount. It's a 50% scholarship for the semester. Okay. Then we have then we have something called the basketball scholarship. That for every year 1 student get it. So these are for those that have been active in the Latvian Basketball Youth League. And they so generally we have several applicants for there from the league. And then what happens is that together with the league, we choose one of those that is receiving a 100% as well scholarship for the whole program. Okay. For that, this has to be a student that has been also a very active player and that gets proper referencing from the league and from the coach. Okay. So these are the more or less. So there are opportunities. Okay, at the level of and we have the greenhouse as well scholarship for some students. On what all this depends, this is American school, so we don't have the budget places. We don't want them for several reasons, but we don't feel they are really good for students. You need to compete, right? So it's a competition, and this is how the life works, especially at this level. Okay. Now the study credits really are very, very much available right now. So I think you don't need a collateral anymore. So many of our students, I think half or more of them are paying with the study loan. The salaries they get at the end of their studies is good enough and very easy to pay back. So that's why finance. I know that still there is a tradition in this country that sort of people look at to study for free, but be careful because nobody can give you free lunch, right? And the reality is that budget places, they are called budget places, but in reality they are subsidies to the universities. So they are not able to really fund the studies as they should, because the money they have available per seat is very low. And they need to cover all costs of the university. So therefore, be careful, because that's sometimes it seems that the government is paying you a seat in the university, but it really is not doing that. So it's basically a subsidy to the university that is allocated to, and some of the students get free seats. But that doesn't guarantee the quality, unfortunately, because it's not enough for paying the bills of the university, right? So that's what you have to consider. If in the University of Latvia, one professor has 100 students in the class, here you are going to have, I think, the max generally is around 20, 30, 40. We have one class now with 60, but we generally try to keep a very low ratio between faculty and student. Okay.
No more questions? No? Okay. Then we can ask our lovely student union to come here. Yes, and thank you for Zakia.
Yes.
Yes. And since we are on live, I'll give you a microphone. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Right now, all of you to what we're gonna do. So you can choose.
Oh.
Now, but that's not be the last 2 rows. Just so you know, we're gonna have these extra here. So yeah, if I choose these rows over here. This is a method that one of our professors uses, Justin Bancroft. He's from the US, and it's worked beautiful. Yeah. I'll let you guys start. Thanks for listening. Awesome. So far, so good. Okay, we need these. Take this with me. Before we start anything, introduce us three real quick. So we're bachelor students from the second year BBA. We're all the same course mates, and we decided when we want to make a fun game in the beginning, which Nikita is going to host. By the way, my name's Davis. That's Katina and that's Nikita. We're going to introduce ourselves later as well, so you know who we are and what we do. But place is here, man.
Okay, back here we will do like a live auction. You can bet like from 1 cent. Here could be anything. There could be nothing. So yeah, you can start
It sounds like
bidding.
something though, you know.
Yeah,
It sounds like it's probably not empty.
probably yeah.
Actual money.
Could be. So we can start
We
bidding.
don't know.
1 cent. 1,
What's it over here?
2 cents.
Here.
3,
5.
5,
10.
10,
$5.
$5. Oh. Oh. Okay, someone more. 1, 2, 550. Okay. 551.
550. Once. $6 or euros? Cents.
Cents.
But
Oh.
I assume euros. I assume €6. So €6 once. 7.
I have my friends 20.
Okay, you're gonna take a loan, yeah. You're gonna need this loan, the tuition loan, to pay it off. Okay, 7. You said 7 once.
No, I'm giving 10. Yeah.
10.
10.
We're gonna like
If,
yeah split.
Split it.
Yeah.
That's not against the
okay,
rules.
10, 1,
10 twice, 10 three times.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's sold. Actually, we did it for free to see who will be ready to move.
Who will take the risk?
Yeah.
You
Until
gotta
the
take the
end.
risk. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. Yeah, you can show everybody what you got. You can. What did you get? What did you get? Show the camera as well, so the people on Facebook see. So that's what is that? What is that over there?
I don't know actually. So yeah, you can speak what it is.
What it is? Describe it, guys. Do a
It's a
review.
planner and a bottle, I suppose.
Bottle.
Oh
Whoa.
yeah, old school RBS bottle.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Old school.
You guys don't argue it back. I'm just kidding. Stupid. All right, so we're the student union. Who we are, when you join RBS, you're automatically, according to Constitution as well, you're part of the student union. We're the board of the student union that you see right now. There's half of us are here. Before we introduce, actually, yeah, next slide, go ahead. So what we do is we make everything outside studies, well, marketing team as well, but when it comes to events, when it comes to parties, we make them. They're student organized. That means that it does get pretty wild sometimes, which is the cool part. And we have this community, we have the student life, we have merchandise. Actually, this merch dropped today. It delivered today. So yeah, that's our new merch right here. You also provide that. Scholarship, Claudio mentioned that. Won't repeat that, but it's a cool thing. And representing students' interests. So we have bi-weekly meetings. And when somebody has any concerns, they come to us, and then we go to the administration and voice them. Because students' opinions are important. We are both the product and the customers. Next on. All right, yeah, we have a fancy remote. Okay, so we're actually 6 in the board. I am president. Cool guy. Never mind. Yeah. There's the vice president as well. She couldn't make it today. Head of culture division. Everybody. We're gonna explain what new word. What each of us does. There's also here Nikita Silikos. We'll explain what you do. Katrin Strazda. And there's also Elisa who can make it. Moving on. All right, so there's 4 divisions in total, and they're actually like a streamline. So the culture division is the one that decides the events. They decide what kind of event we want, what will the activities be, and then they take all those activities and explain them to the external division, to Nikita, right? So Dimitris goes, Nikita, we need gifts. 5. Can you have them? Can you get them?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. And then what Nikita does, so I'm Elisa right now, so what do you do?
I say to Elisa what kind of materials we need to provide to sponsors.
Okay. What do we need?
Oh, usually we need some qualitative pictures, videos, good social media posts. Usually this stuff.
Consider it done. Then there's Katrin, who's independent. Katrin, what do you do?
I think I'll talk about it later on.
Later on. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on. Right, so culture division. I'll talk about what he does. So when you join culture division, so that's the thing. When you join, you're automatically part of the student union, but you can also choose to be an activist, right? So that basically means that you sign up at the beginning of the year, then you join one of the divisions, or maybe even more. What culture does, I already said, but yeah, the whole organization, you work in this team, you organize events together, essentially. Let's not bore you with details and moving on. These are some of the events that happen every year. This is a secret, kind of, for you guys. So this will be your first experience when you join RBS. So this is you won't forget this. I promise you that. It's something different, but I can't explain that in more detail because it's a secret. Car orienteering. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So what you do is you have these scavenger hunt. You're giving a sheet of paper with a bunch of tasks written on them, but it doesn't sound like, I don't know, maybe orienteering sounds pretty boring to me in general. Maybe that's just me, but this is different. Like it's some really cool and crazy stuff written on there that you have to do. So yeah, you really get out of your comfort zone when you go here. There's also Halloween, beer pong. This year, we actually bought neon lights and we bought color that glows in the neon lights, and it was, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. It was cool, right? There's some good music, and yeah. Thanksgiving. Yeah, Thanksgiving. There's a pie contest going on. So since we are an American school, we also have American traditions. Thanksgiving is an American tradition, right? Right. So what's also cool about this is we have the director of the school that gives us turkey every year. Everybody gets a slice of turkey, which is also awesome. Christmas party. Yeah. This is kind of different every year. It's kind of, you know, each school has their Christmas event when everybody gets together. It's similar, but in English, you know, because we're an English school, so it's kind of, there's not too much to say there. But yeah, and
Okay, finally someone else will speak. Okay, about external division or external relations division. So our team is basically known for one word, which is sponsors. But let me tell you a bit more about it. So as you understood, culture are responsible for creating and organizing an event. And sometimes they request some list of items that they need, for example, like food, snacks, drinks, alcohol, gifts, etc. And they send this list to us, to external division, which usually consists at the beginning of the year about around 30 people, right now maybe 20, 15, but still. And we start doing market research or analysis for potential companies that we can attract to the event, and we start contacting them, sending different partnership offers, negotiating, and basically, yeah, making a deals. If we move on, yeah, here are some list of companies with whom we cooperated in the past year, and some cases I will tell you a bit more. So, for example, MyFitness, we made a partnership with them at the beginning of this academic year in September, when we provided free registration for the whole university and some discounts there. Red Bull, many drinks, energy drinks for our challenges, like car orienteering for the whole, for the all teams and all participants there. And like Claudio Rivera, who provide us like 60 liters of beer for beer pong or others. Yeah, and other ones are much more gifts. So if you ask me to provide you some numbers, how much we save by external division. So I can roughly tell you that in around 10 months, we saved up to 8,000 euro for the whole university thanks to external division job. And I guess at this point, it's enough about external division, and I pass the mic to Kathy.
Thank you. So what I do, since I haven't talked a lot, so I'm the head of education division, and our division is, well, similar as Davs mentioned. So we also have bi-weekly meetings, but instead of having the board having meetings with the administration, that is a team of 7, 8 people. So basically from each course, every 2 weeks, we have a meeting with Claudio, our bachelor's director. And so we talk about what has happened during these last 2 weeks. I don't know, maybe someone was not happy with, maybe grades were missing for some reason. Maybe some lectures just didn't happen. Also, maybe faculty has some problems with us, you know, maybe we didn't appear to the meetings or lectures. And so we talk with each other. We try to solve these problems. We also try to solve any problems that maybe students do not understand some lecture. And so we try to find kind of the middle ground where both parties are happy. And so every single student can experience our division's work, even though it's not like gifts or PR posts, so we do not see them directly. Here are some skills that you need. That's it. It's mostly about discussions, I want to say. And then I would also like to talk instead of Elisa, who is not here apparently today, and the last division, which is the PR division. So those are all of the posts, all of the videos that you can see on our Instagram and Facebook pages. And yeah, every single member is usually given a task. So for example, you need to make a post for, I don't know, Amber Group or KPMG. And so they look at all of the photos, thousands usually or hundreds of photos that have been taken during the event. They try to find the best one, try to find appropriate description for them, and try to make it work with the company so both parties are happy, both us, that we have put out very qualitative posts, and companies that they're well represented. And yeah, here are some of the artworks that have been put out. So here you can see for the Christmas gathering or the Christmas party event, which we had, also the Halloween beer pong, which was mentioned, and also Business Mondays, which we now have on Mondays, that we all like to dress up nicer. Yeah, well, not exactly like that, but nicer, just in general. Yeah, like that. Yeah, and talking about our social media, here you can join our Instagram.
It's optional, but
Yeah, but we will not change slide until you
you won't get out of here.
So also Facebook, but it's Facebook is optional. Instagram is not optional.
Okay. I see the vibe. All right, and that's us.
Any questions?
Questions? Any questions? About student life, not just student.
Which is
Not
your
just a year.
favorite course? Which is the course you don't want? That don't say the thing that you don't like. Just say which is your favorite.
You get maybe you'd like
You
to
are not ready for it.
Okay.
Besides OB.
Of course, yes. Which leads
Yes,
Claudio.
teaches it.
Yeah. Probably civil defense because it just lasts 4 weeks.
Would you like the lab?
Oh, okay, yeah. But in reality, there are many different courses that relates to the business from different aspects. And my favorite one at the beginning of the first year was marketing. So it described many concepts, which helped me to receive my third job offer. And I really liked it because it, yeah, just so many knowledge, information, which was applicable afterwards in my work.
Yeah, okay. Probably mine. It's really difficult to tell, but it was one of the semesters in accounting, so financial reporting and analysis. It's great because I'd like to work in finances, and actually worked in finances for my internship. It taught me a lot of aspects that I feel like still were in my head even after the summer. So it was great that the instructor is also very knowledgeable and teaches you in a manner that you will not forget what you have learned. And it's also with many of our course mates, and I say that they remember the best accounting courses that have been taught here. I don't know, the classes are also always fun. Yeah.
You know which one? First year seminar.
That's we won. Okay.
Explain what it is.
So, first year seminar. In a nutshell, you're cooperating with the municipality in Latvian. No, what's okay? I didn't know that before. But yeah, words are not coming to me today. Municipality. Thank you. And you're making a project. They're telling you some of the meaningful problems that they have in their city, and you're making a project to solve those problems. And yeah, either that one or actually OB. Yeah, you and Will, you did a really great job with that. It was engaging, it was useful. Yep, those ones. Questions from you guys? Student life, our experience. anything.
What's your worst experience? What's your worst experience? Have you experienced sorry. Okay. What's your worst experience while at RBS?
Worst experience.
Yeah, during COVID. I think it's all of us because, you know, we can really see each other. So you don't get the whole university life. You don't get, well, you just sit at home and learn.
Yeah.
And you can do that by yourself if you have the right motivation, right? But apart from that, you do not get to see your peers. You do not get to, I don't know, participate in events. You just sit at home. It's sad.
Summarize it.
Okay. During COVID, first experience was COVID.
Yes, online study. I agree. I mean, you get the studies, you get the knowledge, but you don't get the networking. You don't get the actual connection building. So, yeah. Somebody else?
I have another question.
Sure.
How much free time you actually have, like while studying? Like, I understand you work part time as well, or no?
Most students actually do, kind of. So it kind of depends, right? So that's the thing. That's a consultant answer. In the first year of studies, typically you don't have any time to work unless you're a complete productivity freak somehow, because it's like really intense. In the second year, in the second half, you can kind of combine it comfortably. And still, even though I'm saying there's some exceptions that people still do combine somehow studies with work, right? But in the third year, typically people like combine it with work as well. But when you ask about like free time, this is both programs are intense, but actually you can. I've never asked you this question, but this is how I imagined it. They're so intense. Okay, there's a benefit of it as well, but most business programs are 4 years. Ours is 3, and one year, academic year is not 10 months, it's 8. Our summer starts in May, right? So we have 4 months of summer. Is that the reason why?
I don't know if that's the reason, but actually it's a very good comment. We forgot to explain. So the RBS follows the American calendar of universities. So you have 3 semesters, though the undergraduate students really have only 2. So they have fall and spring, and in summer you have a couple of courses, just in case you want, but they are not obligatory. But the fact that you have between May and August free is really helps you to get very good internships, because if you have only 2, so when you get to the company, you know, so the company cannot really work with you because they don't have time for you to understand where is the cafeteria, right? So you need some time to get used to the company. So 4 months is a very good internship time, and BTL. So if a BBA can in the second semester, second year, somehow comfortably, but not everyone actually, but some of those that have good grades can do it. BTL, I think, is still the second half of the third year. You cannot really work that much, right? So it's very intense on that. But the last year is a year for landing in job already. So everything is programmed that you can really do that. Now it became very popular now, exchange and dual degrees. So then that means that also many are not doing any work now in the last year. That's something that we started to see, that more and more students are going abroad. And I think it's a good idea. It's better than starting to work.
Yeah. So I also noticed that it really depends on how many opportunities you use at RBS. Because right, we're all at the student union board. We all have at least 3-4 projects right now going on. And so it's a choice. You either put yourself in all of these different projects, or you maybe go and work, or you maybe do not do anything. And those people have the most free time. So those who work and those who maybe put themselves in extra projects, those do not have as much free time. So it's all your choice, basically.
I see. We study the entire work week hard. We party harder on Friday, and then yeah, Saturdays, Sundays, you maybe do some, like you do the homework, but you also have like enough time for. You're gonna see your family. I mean, it's not that intense. There's time for family. There's time for yourself. There's time to maintain your mental health, your physical health, everything. So
That's a very good. So we are. Zakia spoke about this, the student advisors. We have became more and more careful on issues like mental health that you just mentioned. For us, it's very, very important that you stay healthy and that you know how to build a career that is intense and that you enjoy. You know, the worst thing it can happen, unfortunately, we see it a lot in many places, that people, they burn out so much that they want to come back to those studies anymore, right? So they don't want to work in the area. So that would be the worst thing that can happen. So we have the student advisor. We also advise that you have a rich life, and we have psychologists available as well. So, okay. Maybe.
Yeah.
You didn't take advantage of that?
No.
Okay.
There was a message going around on email.
You don't read it.
No, no.
Okay.
But it's cool.
Now, probably you didn't get our advice to go to a psychologist, right? No. You are so successful getting money that you don't need a psychologist. You just need a sponsors, right? Okay.
any other question?
It's your opportunity. Make any question. What you guys are gonna do in the next year? You?
Okay, I can start with myself. I enjoyed these 2 years at RBS. Amazing years. My mental growth was like unbelievable. I plan to move for the 3rd year, probably to Japan or South Korea, to exchange, to gain this international experience, to make a networking there. So there are many opportunities. So that's my plan at this moment.
I'll probably work. Because right now, yeah, first year, it was kind of an introduction to the adult life. Now it was the RBS ISU board, and then it's work. We go up the career path steps.
Right now, looking for shifting to startups, messaging startups. I want to work in a really dynamic environment, and that's what I'm going to focus on right now. We're only actually the student union board for 1 more week, so next week.
You are all fun.
Yeah, fired, exactly, yeah. Terrible job. Yeah, I guess we're all focusing on
You
our
are
careers.
all released from duties. That's the term.
Yeah.
Released from duties.
Yeah, when you go home and you get fired, just tell your family, yeah, they offered me to leave. They offered me to leave.
How big of a part of the graduates study masters?
I don't know, but I believe that almost everyone, and the reason is that this is how the job market works today. So you cannot just keep yourself with that. Also, because people here, I hope, you like to learn.
Of course.
It didn't sound so convincing, but I know he likes to learn. So and that means that you cannot end up with a bachelor. And what do we recommend to the people? Well, it depends what you want to do. Okay, some very few. Once you go into very academic careers like me or Zakia, and then so we look at to help them to go to do the master very quickly, okay? Because then you need to go to a doctoral, etc., etc. Now, for people that could like more of a consulting career, etc., so they spend some time in one of the big four that you didn't know what they are, but you will at some moment in your life, and then after, when they are more or less on 27, they come for MBA program here. We recommend though that if they come, they go for 1 year full-time MBA abroad, or another type of masters abroad, so that they can. But many are coming here to do the MBA afterwards. Some go to masters that are very specific, like master in marketing or marketing in energy. Master in energy. So we have people that are working in the energy sector. That is one of the most dynamic sector. I mean, you might feel, oh, energy, Latvenergo, boring. No, actually it's one of the most dynamic sectors where a lot of technology going into it. So, and there is all the renewable, the Green Deal, etc. So if you are into that sector, it's very interesting. So we have people in education technology, etc., etc. So there are a lot of segments. Health is also one of the very cool, we call them vertical sectors, so where many of our graduates are working. Okay, so I would say, I don't have the statistics, but I believe that most of all are going into masters. Yeah. Okay. You have the power of the word. I think we have only boys asking today. Yeah. So we don't have any. Okay. I think we are done, Melissa. I give you the microphone back.
Well, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who joined today. Thank you, Claudio. Thank you, Zakia. I think she's gone to get a bit of water. But thanks to Zakia and thanks to the Student Union for telling all these great young people about how great Riga Business School actually is. And if you don't have any more questions now, please feel free to always send us an email or message us on social media, because I'll respond and then we can get in touch and talk about. Is that fair? Was that fair?
They can also
More
ask
like-
some private questions if they want. You can also ask us privately right now any questions. We will stay here for some time.
Confidential information.
Confidential. Yes, I'll stay for a little bit as well. And thank you for coming here.